Alright, so I'm going to keep this market review short and simple, short and sweet. A lot of things happened. And this is how we close the day. So, in the daily, we took out the high, reached into this, which is a 4-hour, reached in the 50% here, reached into the weekly order block here, into last week's wick, and then dropped off into this. This is yesterday's regular trading hours gap, and we drop into this, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. On the higher time frame, 1 a.m. drew to swing upwards and slowly fall down. 15-minute. So what was visited a lot today was its daily opening gap. As you can see, from 9:30, it was visited at 9:45, stayed in it until 1 p.m., came back down, or dropped down away from it, came to it again at 3, and then I thought that we were going to end the day, since we were around it so much, that we were going to end the day like a split wick like that. But that's not what happened. So we visited it here, dropped, came back in this one, and dropped into it, closing lower, tipping its hand to us that we're not so bullish after all, are we? I don't really like it, it feels like a sharp arrow, and I don't like that. I feel like, I don't know, I just don't like it, it doesn't sit well. But we have these two relative equal lows, with this gap here and this gap here, relative equal lows here. But most importantly is what's going to happen after we take out these lows. And it looks like after today that we are going to take out those lows. So 1 minute chart, we had a beautiful drop at 9:30. So this on the 5 minute, I think. Yeah, this is a bearish breaker, fair value gap, and order block. So I just took that whole thing, and a reverse order block too. So that was a beautiful point of, shortage. So 9:30 comes and we just straight drop. Okay. For NQ, we make an SMT on, actually we don't, but 9:30 drops. I thought, ES was going to go for these relative equal lows, but this is what the tipping of the hand was for me this morning, at least. So see this 5 minute fair value gap right here, up here, and up here. The tipping of the hand for me, for us potentially going lower, was see how the bodies stop perfectly at the consequent encroachment, and the body stopped perfectly at the low. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, we're probably going to go lower. And then we do. We have a beautiful setup right here where the bodies, so these two wicks are the 15-minute, are these two 15 minutes prior to here. And then I was like, yeah, it should not go below here if it's bullish. But of course it does. So it drops below, comes back in here, right? At this point, I don't really trust it. Why? Because of how ES is acting. It went above it. So I'm like, maybe I want to see ES go below it. But then this happens. I still don't trust it. This. And then I wanted to see ES take out this high, but you see it doesn't. And then I was going to look to go short. If it went above that high there, I would have shorted right there, but it didn't. The idea was still good though. Once it closed below 50% again, this one comes up, boom, short, goes into it, inversion fair value gap, and this is a 1 hour fair value gap that it stays in the bottom half, accumulates for 5 candles, drops again into the second daily fair value gap, and we're in the first new day opening gap, and then we're in the first one here. And here similarly we're accumulating below the fair value gap, the regular trading hours gap, and below what here it goes up to reach the midpoint of the new week opening gap and this order block right here. Then we drop lower, get in here and consolidate a whole bunch. And then we can buy there. Oh, we can buy there. You don't know when it's gonna get out, but here 1050 macro. If you don't know, wait for the macro. Okay, so like we saw here, we had the breaker, a fair value gap, and an order block. Same thing here. This is a triple threat that never fails. We have, what is it? High, low, low, high, lower, low, higher, high. Breaker right here. This is a breaker. Okay. Breaker. Order block. With a fair value gap. Look at that. The 3-in-1 combo. With an SMT. Lower lows, higher lows. Makes relative equal lows, tells us we're going to be coming back down. So once you see that, then it comes back up, doesn't take out this high, body stop there again, stay under, drops below. So this was a potential, I saw that right there, and then boom, it went there, and I was like, oh, it's too late. So I missed this, and you see it doesn't give you anything else until here, but by then it's too late. Then it goes there. Okay, if it's bullish and it wants to go, and then also we made an SMT because ES took out that high, goes to the middle perfectly. Then we drop below the 930 fair value gap. One candle comes up, comes back, closes. If you don't want to sell in that one, you sell in this one, 442, where to these 2 wicks, which is the 15-minute consequent approaches, 40 points right there. Boom. We trek back higher a little, and then I wanted to see this being used as inversion, and it didn't. It just melted through it. But here we have this second fair value gap is visited on ES, comes back to 50% of this gap, and this one isn't. That's a short right there. Say you get in at 391 to below here. That's around 50 points. And we take out the lows here, make incredibly relative equal lows there. Then we come back up again to the middle of the range, kind of, just wiggle in here a little bit. And then in here, okay, we're accumulating at the bottom half again. After we did that, took out highs right there, took out liquidity, revisited this again, but ES doesn't, NQ doesn't even want to visit it. So when it doesn't even want to visit it, at this point, 123, I was like, okay, we still have around 3 hours in the day, but we've been revisiting this new day opening gap too much. So we accumulate in there, drop off, come back, drop again below these lows, all the way down to where almost 50%, the upper half of this gray pool, these 2 gray lines, while ES takes out its lows and goes into its own gray pool right here. And then and then we have boom, takes out liquidity here. And I was looking at this for an inversion fair value gap to go lower, but it didn't happen. Then we break lows, make an SMT, and break higher into this one, drop into 50% here. And at that point, I'm like, okay, at this drop, that's a really good buy to go here. Comes back down once more, drops below there, touches that, and then here's where I get involved. Let me just switch the screen. So here's where I get involved. And I do have a great entry. Unfortunately, it does not work out for me. I had the right idea. It still ended up going to my target. If you remember, let me just do a reset copy so you can see. Never mind. Oh yeah, bruh. Excuse me. So let me just enlarge and yeah. Okay, let me just show you on here, I guess. So I buy here. This is what I was thinking, okay? Order block here drops down into here. It's a good buy. It's a really good buy. Into this order block here, 341. And then let me extend out again. So then, if you can see, 239 candle, ES hits its new day opening gap, and then it retraces a little bit, bumps it one more time, and then goes. So, you know, it came down to what, 235. If I had left my stop below that low, I would have been fine, but I didn't. It's fine, stop me out, and then goes. But yeah, I had 4.75 points. So that should be $8.50. No. $4. So this is a micro. So this is yeah, it was $4.75. 4.75.75. So 50 cents. It should have been $9.50. Dang, fees are a lot. Anyways, so I do that. It goes here at this point. I'm like, okay. I got off the charts after I got stopped out. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I think it's gonna stay around here. I called it. I thought, I'm like, you know what? We have this here. We come down, make an SMT, come back up, make another SMT, and we didn't stay here. If we stayed around here, went up, came down, sure. But what happens is we go down. Okay, so we go down here. Still have the oh no SMT. Now no SMT. But then we do here at 343, then again at 350 macro. Gosh, dude. And then, last 10 minutes, it's like, you know what? I'm going for the run, and it's been doing that lately from 173 to 331, 170 points in the last 10 minutes. Really nothing you can do about it, but it is what it is, and it was a very good day. And until next time, be safe.